All right, what's up, YouTube? We got an end to another market day. We got about 20 minutes left, so we got to make this one a bit quicker. It's going to be okay because we only got about 6 stocks that we're looking at. Today, overall, the market was kind of back and forth. I think a lot of stocks ended up green, but there was a lot of volume today at the beginning. It kind of calmed down towards the middle, and now it looks like things are curling back up. Looks like people are positioning themselves before Christmas break, but I anticipate that tomorrow, which is the last day of trading, bond markets are going to be closed. It might be a little bit less volume. So people are trying to position themselves. I don't think anybody's anticipating a sell-off, but just lower volume. But if you are going to play the market tomorrow, which some people are, a lot of people are, we have some stocks that we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to start with Pfizer, even though this is not in the correct order. I'm going to start with Pfizer because yesterday we talked about Pfizer. We talked about how they had the sell-off because of the news, and they still had the catalyst, 3 catalysts, so it kind of bounced back a bit, and a lot of the market bounced back. Well, today they were kind of anticipating that announcement of the FDA approving their pill, and so it was going up for a little bit, kind of holding very well. And then they had news released, negative news released, something about the army. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it started going down, and a lot of people started selling because the last time it took a crash like this, it went down $4 or $5. So it didn't drop as much this time because people were still waiting for the catalyst, but people were trying to get in at a better price and then ride the wave back up. They didn't know how long it was going to go down, so it didn't bounce down too much. And then we had news that of the FDA approval for the pill, and boom, it made a pretty big move back up to where it had opened a few days ago. And it looks like, as the news is going to keep on going, because this is something that's going to be on every headline, it's essentially going to market this for you. I don't know who needs the pill necessarily. So your market for Pfizer is going to be, they're going to have to talk about that. Like if you've already had your vaccination, do you still need a pill, or is it for the unvaccinated? Because if it's just for unvaccinated, then it's a smaller percent, and it's going to affect their revenue for sure, especially because they're the first one out. But it's not going to be as big as a move as the vaccinations where you have so many orders open. But it's still going to be big because a lot of people might prefer the pill, and it is first on the market. It is a bit of a disruptor in a way, but it's something to keep an eye on as far as how much range you're looking up. But at the end of the day, it's still upwards range that you're looking at, and this news is a pretty big catalyst. So yeah, that's Pfizer. BFRI. Again, one of the reasons we put these videos out before market closes so you can catch curl ups. This one has a lot of volume in the past few days, and it sold off today, had a spike, kind of broke back to VWAP, bounced down again, and it's going to close around VWAP. So after hours, you might see this thing spike now. You could do it now too. But yeah, it still could have room to move up during after hours, and it found its bottom around 950 here, which is where it was pre-market. It did pop during pre-market. So if you got it here when we talked about it last time, you did make some profit, and it looks like it's about to have some volume here, and it already found its bottom. So that's a good support level considering it was trading down at 7 not too long ago. So that's BFRI. Still has that short interest available, and we're looking pretty much the same thing with RCAT. They had different news about, I believe it was something with their drones. It was very good news, and it popped off a lot. This is one that was running a few months ago alongside CEI, but the market cap the shares available on this one is around 30 million, but it was still moving quite a bit here. So we might look for continuation volume tomorrow, but just one to kind of watch. The other ones are more, I guess this one has more room to run if it tests back to VWAP or even up here or retest the highs. But that news is kind of just like people playing it. I don't know if it's necessarily going to affect them like multiple days in a row, but we'll see. SOPA, this is one that's been running the past few days, as you can see, coming all the way down from 3. Today it saw a lot more volume. So, this is kind of typical sometimes. You see a pop, and then the next few days it kind of consolidates or nothing happens. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's dead, but a lot of the times, the next few days, if you watch it, there's chances for it to curl up. And if you get in very early, that's one of the reasons we cover some of the stocks that popped up today or the day before, is because we're kind of waiting for them to have that second spike. A lot of times people flock to stocks that are known to be good. So when people get desperate or they just don't know where to go, a lot of times people pump these other stocks that had news and a catalyst and a reason for them not to tank so quickly. but I don't know how well it's going to hold this level. It's kind of extended here, especially going into after hours. I mean, I don't anticipate more volume during after hours, so it might sell back off here. You might want to look for a good entry, or if you think it's too overextended, just watch it. But it's just interesting here. RELI is another one that had that was getting halted a few times throughout the market day, and it looks like it's curling up here. It didn't see anywhere near where it was trading before, but still some good opportunity here. If you look at it on a 3-minute chart, I mean, this is still quite a bit here of range, but you have to kind of catch that. You have to kind of see where it consolidates and gets that confirmation towards VWAP, but it could always just get retested and come back down. So you just got to be careful with that. Helbiz is one that didn't really pop, but I want to talk about this one. This is kind of my favorite stock right now because it seems to be the most predictable. Every other stock I was looking at kind of made the moves that we were anticipating already. Not this one hasn't yet because I'm just bringing it up now. But let's look at it like close for a second. I mean, a lot of stocks were down today, and we saw that it kind of bottomed out around 580. Today, it didn't even retest that. It looked like it was selling off for a bit, but then bounced back up, which is very good. Now, this is a streaming company, so the way their business inherently works is that they get a lot of news every time they partner with someone new to stream their service using them. That seems as big news. And I was thinking about it because a few months ago they popped off and it was a short squeeze, and ever since then the ticker symbol is stuck in my head. But I kept hearing new news being announced all the time, and it's just not very common that a company gets that much news unless they're making big moves. But the way this company is set up is every time they announce a different partnership, that's the structure of their business, is that they have to reach out to different people, and or people reach out to them and use their service, and then they integrate it that way. So inherently, every time they make any kind of move or add one person or a company onto their service, that's seen as big news. So if we look at it on the 1 hour chart, you see all of these spikes. I don't know how to look at from this point this way. I don't know how to look at that. But what I'm talking about is from here. All of these are news of announcements. I know they were doing something with Spotify, with Amazon. So some of these bigger ones might have been that. I know one of these was a short squeeze. But if you look at the range here, you're looking at $10 all the way to 13, 11 to 15, 11 to 13, almost 14. So you just see these dollar spikes over and over again. And if you're positioned well and you catch good news, or even just catch the anticipation of something coming up, because before this it was trading around $10 flat, like it wasn't really moving too much. So I don't know if the valuation is at 10, but it's oversold right now. So you could see it as that value, inherently this range, but you could also play the news of it maybe getting something and it pops a few dollars automatically, because the shares on this is the float is about 8 million shares. So it can move very quickly, very, very quickly. And if you're early on this and you're heavy, like 1,000 shares, 500 shares, let's just go with 1,000 shares, and it pops $3. I mean, that's a free $3,000 just because you're holding it at a good price. I mean, this is pretty much as low as it's traded here. So I really like the stock as far as positioning. I couldn't tell you too much about the company itself other than what I did about like how their news tends to make it pop a few dollars. But it does tend to come right back down. This is not one of the ones where you see continuation volume and it holds those numbers. This is one that tends to pop. People take profits. Almost like people discovered this before like this idea that I'm talking about before I did. Like people position themselves well, and as soon as it pops, they take profits and it's right back down the next day. This is not one where you want to kind of go heavy and top tick this, because you will be holding for a very long time. But if you position yourself correctly, you could take position or profits off of just the anticipation or off of news itself. Tell me what you guys think about that. I like the idea. I personally am going to be watching it that way. I don't see any reason it would sell off, and even if it does, you could only go down $5 per share. So I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, that's going to be it to this video. We got 10 minutes left before market closes, so hopefully you guys can watch this video before. You can check out all the charts and stuff. And until next time, guys, peace.